I'm just talking about whatever I dang well want to please and talk about. The other name I thought about for this little podcast, wherever this is recognition euphoria, because it's my latest obsession about one of the things that makes a neurodivergent person kind of unique is both they have this rejection dysphoria where they don't even start something because it feels like it won't be perfect enough. I'll be rejected. It won't match neurotypicals, but they also have recognition euphoria, which is if you understand what I'm talking about, if you get me, if you affirm me, I feel this dopamine hit and this hit of wellness and just good stuff. So I might call this that as well. You guys can vote on what the heck I call this. But in the meantime, I wanted to share a few things that I have gathered to bring warmth because I am having 12 people for Thanksgiving, and I have never in my life been in charge of cooking stuff for Thanksgiving. So guess what? I'm not going to start now. I have thrown money at it, and I'm getting, tell me what you're doing for Thanksgiving, by the way. I want to know if you're a cook or a consumer for Thanksgiving. I'm putting a little LTK link for some of the things that I've purchased. I can't give you links to food. I purchased a turkey. I'm literally not going to cook the turkey, but I am going to be grounded. Hey, Katie Bowman. I am going to be calm. Anyway, some things I have recently bought. I bought an embroidery set, a beginning embroidery, because I have this thing where when people come over, I'm noticing everything wrong with the environment. Oh, I got to get the music just right. And I'm not as present as I would like to be. And so I'm going to try and take up embroidery randomly when my family's here. My parents are going to stay with me, and my two nieces are going to stay with me in this house. In fact, the nieces are going to stay here with the college boy who's coming home. I hope they can all figure it out. And my brother and his wife and my other brother and his wife are going to stay in an Airbnb. So, and they'll all come to my house. Another thing I got that's in that LTK link, the best jigsaw puzzle. Trying to find things that slow us down and give us a reason to just be in the same space and see what develops. And this is every national park, and it's going to be fun. My brothers can brag about the ones they've been to, and I can brag about the ones I've done. So that's in that link, LTK. And then the last thing I want to show you is my favorite game for playing with your family. Do you really know your family? Some weird stuff has come out of this. Like, it's really good for people who don't want to have deep conversations. They don't really want to get to know you. You're like, okay, cool, let's just play this game. And it will uncover some things without feeling like it's forcing it. So can't say enough about that. That's at that LTK link. And then between you and I just got mustache and beard color for men, and I'm going to try it here. What do I care? What do I have to lose? It's only my eyes. So I will report back about that. And now it's time for confession time. This week, I got in the mail something that I have not seen for, how old is my daughter? She's 21. I haven't seen it in 25 years, maybe 27 years, ever since my first marriage. And I have been happily married for 22 years. And it is the china from my first wedding that when that marriage did not work out, I boxed all this stuff up and left it at my mother's, never to use it again. And I am embarrassed. It's called, see if anybody knows what this pattern's called, because nobody cares about China, right? But I'm going to use this now. It's called Mode de Blue Canton. Mode de Blue Canton. And guess how much? It's $65 for this bowl. And I got 12 of them. So don't tell anyone. They're going to break in. There's going to be a French heist that's going to come in just to get my bowls, which have never been used. And it's a confession because, what a poorly used privilege to have this stuff and not use it. So from now on, I'm using it. And if it breaks, I don't care. It's going to go through the dishwasher. Hopefully it'll be around for my daughter, but I don't know if the next generation wants our china. Do you have china? Did you ask for china in your wedding? I want to know. Sunny says, at least you have beautiful china and a sense of growth from it. You're right. Every time I look at it, I think I now know how to stay married. I didn't when I had that china. Allie, you said Willow. Is that the name of your china? I want to know, do people have china still, or is that not a thing? So I wanted to confess that. I like to confess on the internet about things that make me feel like I'm not being a good human. Because maybe the same thing's happening to you, and it makes you feel a little less of that heaviness, right? We're all just doing the best we can. And my husband was like, well, if we tallied up how much has been spent to get that china from your hometown in Annapolis, Maryland, all the way to the West Coast in California, the price just keeps going up. So I don't want to think about that. I do want to tell you about what I did last week and some learnings that I had. Um, the other thing I was thinking about calling this little time together, this hangout, is in my head, where I tell you this week's situations, thoughts, realizations, and wonderings that are, you guessed it, in my head. Get them out, tell them to you, feel better about it. Well, I went to go finally narrate my book. And when you get older, you don't have as many realizations about new things about yourself. But I always thought, oh, one day I'm going to be a voiceover star. And maybe star is a big word, but I'm gonna make that a part of my career where I interview. I mean, I slip into character, and I wanted to do like I could see being a cartoon character. Like, what's going on? I can't wait to go play with you guys today. I love doing voices, and to get paid to do voices. But let me tell you, I drove the 90 minutes to LA on Monday morning, fletching my book. They don't care about this. They have it all on an iPad. I get there, and they put me in this box with no natural light, with things all around to dampen the sound, and the door shuts, and I got to put on these big, heavy headphones. And I'm like, are you ready? And then I don't hear anything. So I take him off and I open the door. He's not in there anymore. He's gone to the bathroom. The producer, there's this guy he's very nice. His name was Paul. He looked like John Waters. And he came back and he's like, okay, let's go. And he said something beautiful. What did he say? I wrote it down because I was like, oh, I want that. What did he say? Oh, what did he say? Hold on a second. Let me find it. He said something real beautiful. Um, Can't find it. Should have been more prepared. He said something to the effect of like, we want to get to your heart space and be speaking directly from your heart. And I was like, I want that too. But it's really hard when you're the sensory ofness, that the dankness of this room with no ventilation and no view of trees and just the headphones on and hearing your own voice. And my friend Joy Prouty, who has a new book coming out all about using selfies as a healing modality. Go get it. I can't remember the name of her book, but go find it. Joy Prouty. We're connected here on Substack. Anyway, she got to narrate her book and she could see a tree. I think it would have been very different if I could see something that was from the real world, but instead I heard my own self over and over again say kind of the same thing over and over again, that connection, not control, delight, not duty. You can love this child. Like it just kind of, it was really hard for 5 hours to just read your own words. I don't know. And then by the time I'm getting in the car to go home, it feels like it's burning all here. But by the way, I learned a new stretching technique for when you are going to speak a lot. You pull this down and move away from it. It's kind of like goiter. What's that thing you take all around to do your facial muscles? It's kind of like that. You go like that and you just pull down. So we did that, all that. But despite all the stretching, it was burning back here and I had to go to a board meeting for my church. because I'm an elder at my church. That's right. So watch yourself, okay? If I catch you doing anything unholy, I'm going to report back to my fellow elders. Anyway, I'm kidding about that. Oh, Katie says proofread comes this process of reading aloud to make sure the book is accurate. Lady, I promise you, I read this book out loud, but I would do it at a chapter at a time. Like today, I'll read this chapter. I never sat down and listened to all the chapters together and realized you're very consistent. We get it. I mean, I just think there's a lot here. It's okay if you skim it. That's not what the publisher wants me to say. But I just felt like I did find 4 typos. I immediately was like, publisher. There is a typo on page 76. Please go in and change that. She was like, definitely for the reprint. Because it's already in production. And so, I don't know, you want things to be perfect. It's okay. Wasn't perfect. But also I couldn't speak at my elders meeting. And they were talking about whether or not they should ask folks for money. And I'm at a radically affirming church that has a lot of people recovering from church hurt. And so folks were like, I don't think we should ask for money. If people want to give money, they can. And I was like, I was doing a vow of silence because I wanted my voice to be okay for Tuesday when I had to drive back up there and do 5 more hours. But I needed people to know it's okay to ask for money. People can say no, but you need to let people know that a church needs money to run. Anyway, Wanda says someone visited not too long ago and turned my dishes to see where they were from. And that's nasty. Not that I mean, it's great that they're from Target. To me, that always means like, dang, you must have been there at the right time. You found the perfect thing because Target won't offer those same dishes again 3 months later. Yeah, someone turns these over. I'm going to be like, do you read Chinese? I didn't think so. Give me my dish back. Sorry, that happened to you, Wanda. It's not cool. But also sorry, not sorry, right? Okay, so the other things about being up there narrating, what else do I want to tell you? The publisher deleted a page without telling me, and I happened to notice it. And it's a page where I literally list out every adjective I could think of that is positive about this larger than life, intense, sometimes too much child. And I very much want parents to have that list because sometimes the parents I work with are stuck in not liking this kid and they need a little assistance. So I was like, with all due respect, don't you hate when people say that? Whatever they say with all due respect, they're not about to say something not respectful. But I said that. I said, with all due respect, I need the love list to stay in the book. And they're like, okay. They don't care. No one cares about your work as much as you do, which is why go do your art. Do the thing that you want for yourself. It'll be so specific, so unique that there will be a pocket of people who are like, I want that too. When you try to make something that makes everybody happy, it doesn't work. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? I want to tell you about friendship gambles that I took this week. I have a new neighbor. I hope she's not on substack. I have a new neighbor that I'm kind of obsessed with. And she is 2 doors down. And I can see she just moved in. First off, she redid the whole place. So classy. I'm living in like the lower rent version of what she's got that has not been up. I'm fine with it. But hers, like those black, what do you call that when a window has black casing? Like it's almost like an iron or metal. It's just so like modern farmhouse chic, whatever, right? So redid the whole thing. Heavy drapes, can't see in. Looking every time I walk the dog, right, Wally? We look, we don't see. But at night, the lights go on in the front room, which can't be her bedroom because she's never up there. And she starts painting. I can see an easel, and this woman is painting. And if someone is painting in their home, I need to meet them. We need to be best friends. So I decided I was going to become her friend. And what I did was there's this little cute little flower shop. I was buying myself a little Christmas tree, little live Christmas tree this big, that you can get from Trader Joe's. I recommend it. And I got one for me and I said, I'll get one for that new neighbor who I haven't met. Side note, I have met her and I think she hates me. What happened was 6 months ago, we both moved in on the same day. And we were going through all our stuff and shoving it in the trash cans. Things had come that we didn't need. We were closing down boxes, shoving them in. And she was next 2 doors down, taking all the landscaping down in preparation for a renovation. And she said, hey, do you mind if I put a few things in your trash can? I'm so-and-so. And I was like, oh, I'm so-and-so. You know what? I don't mind, but they're already full. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like haunted by this for months. And she didn't move in. She still hadn't moved in, but she had met me now. And her first impression was, no, you may not put anything in my trash can, but I promise you it was full. Hi, Pelanie. Good to see you on the Substack. I promise you it was full. I mean, I wish she hadn't asked. I wish she just would have shoved in what she could have do. Anyway, so I had to like combat this bad first impression that she had. So I went to her door. I wrote a little note that said, hi, new neighbor. I happen to know her name. So I said, hi, new neighbor. Let's say her name's Sally. I'm like, hey, Sally, so glad you moved in. I hope this plant finds you well. I would love to have you over for a drink. Could be coffee, could be a kombucha, could be a brandy. And by this time, I know I sound like a stalker. I mean, it's like, okay, you don't need to give 8 things you could drink. Anyway, here's my number. Text me when you have a minute and I'd love to meet you. Fold this up. Hey, Emily, good to see you. And I put that right in front of her door. And then I walk out because I am not afraid to take risks and put myself out there. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And a day goes by and another day goes by. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just gonna take the tree, put it somewhere and not even respond? This painter lady is rude? And then on the third day, I was walking to my car and I looked down and the tree's still at her front door. And I realized she uses the back garage to come and go. And that's why I didn't know she'd moved in earlier than she had. And the next day, I get a text. Hello, Mary. How thoughtful. And I'm not usually one who's been thought of as thoughtful. So I appreciate that. She said, how thoughtful. So glad to be your neighbor. And by the way, having a party here tomorrow if you'd like to come. So when you take a risk, you might pay off big. You might get ignored. You got to be okay with either. So I call another friend. I'm like, come with me to this party. It's like a one of those holiday parties where different vendors share things. We walk in and, oh my gosh, I have to show you what I got from her. We walk in and it is really nice. It's not like a hunky, let's just say nobody's selling pot holders at this holiday bazaar. It's sculpture and fine jewelry. And I realized I got to buy something if I'm going to work on this French, right? And I'm looking around and turns out she's not just a painter, she's a sculpturist. And I see this and I say, yes. How cute is this? She made this. She made this and she made this. And all her pottery was sitting around with flowers in it. It was just so darn classy. And now we're best friends. And it turned out that we're not. I haven't seen her since, but I met a lot of people at her place that I happen to know. Like, it's just a small town. I can't tell you where I am in case you come and kill me. I want to survive, you see. No, I'm in Southern California, very close to Long Beach. And let's see, what else? Oh, that was quite a workout. You get to see some of the house. This is the boys' room who's coming back along with my family. It's coming back in 4 days. I'm so excited to have my boy back. I don't want to overwhelm him. He's coming back freshman year of college. I got to be chill about it. Like, there's a good chance he might show up and immediately get in the car to go see his bestie. I got to be okay with that. I'm creating a home base. two more things I want to tell you about friendship, and then I'll let you go. I think that's the creating warmth in friendship. I wrote about it in this week's Substack, but on the way up to the voiceover thing on Monday, which I did go for 4 days, but on the first day to narrate the book, I just felt so jittery and like, what if I like keep making mistakes and the producer's like, take 7, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I imagine him being kind of like in a faraway box and like hearing the squeak as he pushed the button and was like, let's go, let's try this again. That didn't happen, but I was feeling freakied out and I called my friend Beth and I said, Beth, I need some comforting. She's like, okay, what's going on? And I just sort of told her how I was feeling. And she was like, makes sense. This is a big made it moment. This is like a mountaintop moment. Hey, Ken, um, welcome. And so she just sort of talked through me. And then she did something that's so brave that a lot of us wish we did. She said, would you like me to pray for you? And most of us, if we hear that, we go, yes, sure. And the person says, well, I will. Don't you worry. Not Beth. Beth said, okay, Lord, thank you for all the work that Mary's put. Anyway, she went in to pray and it just felt so comforting to be prayed for by a friend. And so I'm so glad I asked for comfort. I want you to ask for comfort. I also want you to ask people to celebrate you because people just don't know. So I texted another friend and I was like, hey, can I stay at your house the night before I narrate the book up in LA because I don't want to have a long commute. And for a lot of personal reasons, she was like, it won't work. We got this thing going on. And I was like, okay. And then I thought, she didn't really make a big deal of the fact that I'm going to narrate my book. I'm like, a big deal. Why doesn't she care? But instead of getting all up in my head, I texted her and said, just so you know, like, don't want to get our wires crossed. Like, it's a big deal to me. So I need like you to hold that with me. And she got it. She came right back and was like, oh my gosh, yes. Congratulations on getting to this part. People don't know what we need. By the way, Beth, who I called on Monday, it was her birthday. It was her birthday the next day. Did not dawn on me. Too into my own stuff. I took her out to dinner last night and I was like, I am so sorry. Anywho, that's the Friendship Chronicles. Friendship is so darn important. Have you heard about the gray divorce? That like something like 65% of divorces coming across the desks of attorneys are for women 55 plus. Women are feeling unfulfilled in their relationships. Palani, I would love to come be hosted at your place next time you're in LA. Or how close are you to Burbank? Because that's where the studio was. Lost my train of thought. What I want to tell you, I can do this. Forgot what I was talking about, but I do want to say that, do you have a comfort TV show? I'm wondering what you like to have on in the background, or even if you even do like to do that. I'm kind of curious gray divorces. Thank you. Jill's here. I was talking about gray divorces and how important female friendship is because y'all never know. And we can't get all things from one person. And I just love my friends and we got to pour into them. We got to remember when it's their birthday. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about is comfort TV. I am obsessed with Scandal, but I need to tell you, it's the first time I started watching it. Like, I think it's 8 years old. It's not a good show. It's not. Please do not go there for great crime procedural TV. It's just something about the repetitiveness of it. Like, they're always like, Olivia Pope she does what she needs to do. And everyone's like, yeah, Olivia Pope is the best of the best. Like, they do a lot of telling instead of showing, which is a no-no in any kind of storytelling. Like, they should just be showing us she's a badass instead of telling us all the time. But there's something about like, you just kind of know each of the characters. So that's my comfort show is Scandal. I know that most people's is Gilmore Girls. What about you? Do you have a comfort show? And will you share it? Steph says, you're the best. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. And I don't know why I'm doing this. I just want a place where I can talk to you and I don't have to worry about the algorithm. I want a place to work through things I'm thinking about, you know? Um, Last thing I'll share with you is the app Good to Go. Too Good to Go. Have you heard about this? This is an app that the stores, grocery stores, mostly donut stores, unfortunately, near you will put on the app when they have food that's going to go to waste. And then you can come pick it up. And often it's like a surprise bag and you don't know what's going to be in it. And oh, I want to see Golden Girls so bad. I've never watched it. I don't. I'm very passive when it comes to TV. When Mr. Van Geffen comes in the room, he grabs the remote, and I'm just like, oh, okay, because I'm usually multitasking. The nanny. What about her voice? Do we get used to her voice being? She's like that when she talks, right? Okay. Oh, West Wing. Do not lie, Emin Goomper. The West Wing would take a lot of like attention, I would think. Like to me, a comfort show is something that you can give 30% of yourself to and still feel like you're not missing important things. But I guess you're probably talking about the second or third viewing because I bet you're a big fan. Oh, Wanda wants to be my friend in Seattle. You're not a painter though. That's going to be really hard for me. You have to have something that you do. Here's the two types of friends I have. Either they have a skill I do not possess that makes me feel like a whole person when I'm with them. So they augment me into humanity, or they are like so calming to be with. Yeah, there's a third one, or we laugh the entire time. So that's the kind of friendships I'm feeling. You either have to make me laugh all the time, or like you're a person that can improv and we're like just making something funnier and funnier and doing bits together. Or you bring a skill I lack, and I lack a lot of skills. Okay. I'm real fun at a party, but I don't bring an app. I show up empty handed, but I'm good for the vibe. And then what I say the third one was? Oh, super chill, and they calm me down. Like one of my best friends, I call her my therapy dog because she's just chill. She just listens. She's low energy in a good way, but I bet we would be great friends. Allie says I'm relatable. I appreciate that. Yes, Yesina says what, but I don't know what to what. Um, Palani says she used to get Le Pain Quotidien leftovers. Oh, that would be good. Oh, yeah, the app. Last thing. Gosh, thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry that I am so incredibly dysfunctional. Um, the Too Good to Go. My friend did it with coffee bean and got like an orange juice, a bag of coffee beans, and something else for like $5. And it's going to go in the trash anyway. You could also take it and love bomb people on the street, unhoused folks. That'd be fun. So something to think about. And no, I've never. Oh, you're talking about the TV show that I've never seen. Yeah, got to watch the Golden Girls. But I think I'm going to be angry the whole time because they're going to be framed as so old and likely they are younger than me. But they didn't have hormonal replacement therapy. So Friends is such a comfort show. Sex in the City, yes, a comfort show. But I will rewind that because I need to see it all. And MNG says that the people on West Wing are her friends. Josh, Leo, Jen. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad they're your friends. Oh, Colleen, you have a leftover food app, Goodie Bag. Okay, we can check that one out too. Goodie Bag. I think I had to choose America when I signed up for Too Good to Go. So it must be like everywhere. I do not get a stake in it. Thank you for being excited about my book. Pre-order my book now. I'm getting off now, I promise. Pre-order my book now before it launches in February because you get a free affirmations masterclass. All the 50 things you should say to the spicy one and how to talk to them in a way that they can receive, that builds them up. And also 3 meltdown meditations for moms for when you have like been monster mode and you can listen and just be like, okay, I can try again. It's going to be okay. And then thirdly, you get the audiobook I just recorded for free in my sexiest mom voice. So I love it. Steph's a Potter. We can be friends. Excellent. I'm so glad you guys are here. I feel like we'd all be really good friends. And this was a fun party. I just wish I could see your faces. That'd be really cool. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Oh, Miami. That's cool. Okay, no goodie bags for in South Carolina. Okay, yeah, I gotta watch Golden Girls. I've got my homework. You guys are the best. Have a wonderful day and take good care of yourself. You deserve it. Bye.